All right, I'm gonna try to do this again. I try to record it twice, and my battery keeps dying out on me, which is okay. It's a good test of patience. Anyways, I wanted to share with you guys basically my experience of what it takes to kind of, or at least what to expect from a journey in the startup space, at least from an outsider's perspective. By outsider, I mean someone who pretty much doesn't really know anybody, just has their own idea and is traveling blind through the space, kind of learning as you go. Um, I just had an exit, a successful exit with dentkits.com. Basically, it's a telehealth website that I developed. It took me about 2.5, 3 years to develop. Our exit was 200K, and I know that doesn't seem like much for a lot of people, but for me, that was a pretty big deal. Especially, I grew up very poor, and so it's really cool to see something come from nothing, and then also get reward for it financially too. Um, I sold because I felt like there's nothing more I could do with my resources, but my hope is that the next owner can take it to the next level. I did everything I could in my power to set it up that way. Um, so I wanted to just kind of say, kind of, when you are uh, embarking on this journey, there's definitely a lot of stress involved because a lot of times you might not have sales in the beginning for a year or so, or you might have droughts of months of no sales as you're tinkering and developing your business model. um, Things like that, things where your customers might not mirror back what your original kind of thesis was for the business model, and you have to adapt and change as you go. A lot of things like that come into play, so you have to be very flexible. Along with that, you got to have a nice risk tolerance too, and the ability to be really patient. Kind of to sit on your hands, if you will. So there's definitely a few things that you got to consider when you're going on this journey. A few of the things I guess that I was surprised about was that um, although I had no expectations for it other than just seeing if the idea that I had would work in the market space, I was still very surprised at um, kind of the drawdowns and then the high points of the business. Sometimes I would have crazy fluctuations where one month you'd have crazy amazing record sales, and the next one you'd have pretty much nothing. So it's definitely very like roller coaster type of ride. There were a lot of like legal issues as well that you got to go over and and jump through and figure out kind of creative solutions of how to get through them without spending a bunch of money. In my case, we had no investors, nothing like that. It was just a bootstrapped startup, and so yeah, it was kind of like me, myself, and I. Um, as far as selling it, it's like kind of a lot of people, at least myself, you know, I didn't really understand like how you kind of would go about selling it, and I had to kind of figure out how the whole process works. I definitely recommend you having a broker. The broker I used would be websiteproperties.com, and they helped me a lot. So definitely check them out if you are in that kind of position where you have like 2 years or so of a highway in the past. It's kind of a good point to start thinking about it if your plan is to have an exit strategy for the next owner to take over. Other than that, yeah, I just kind of wanted to, share my experience. For people out there that are looking to start this journey, and or maybe they're in the middle of it. Um, there's a lot of times where I was like, shoot, screw it, I'm just gonna give up on it. So I just kind of want to inspire those that have seen some success and maybe are on a low point. Don't give up. Tweak that sucker, turn it into something awesome. And something you can look back. Kind of be proud of it, and just wish you all, success. If you have any questions, although I'm not the most experienced individual in this space, I have hopefully something that I could offer you free of charge. And yeah, good luck with everything.